So technique of the week, little armbar series off of mount. This man here was actually asking about some attacks from mount. When I'm on mount with somebody, it's typically not a position that I want to actually hit joint locks. I'll look to set them up from here, but I want to transition off to side control. And you know, we'll just use this armbar series. I like this area a little bit. But when I'm in this position, obviously, yes, when I'm in mount, I should be looking to scoop the head. When I'm starting to attack this arm for an arm bar, I'm not talking about the one where we sit and swing our legs over. No, I'm going to look to get a reverse crossface. I'm going to look to start isolating one arm, and I'm looking to simply just hug this arm from here, right? And basically what I want to focus on is controlling from the elbow to the shoulder and just locking this down as much as possible. Now, when I do get to this position, and I'll take it a step back, as I'm securing this grip, I want to also make sure that I take this leg, slide this leg out, and I shift my hips so that all my weight is now driving up onto his face, and I also unloaded my weight from his hips. Reason being is if I'm here and I'm holding on and he bumps his hips, I'm going to be going for a ride. When I shift my hips, he can bump his hips all he wants, and I'm able to stay in this position, and the hips aren't really impacting me as much. Now, I can start to look to finish up the armbar from here, but as I mentioned, I'd rather catch the submissions from mount and then transition all the way to side control to actually finish the submission. So I can either back step on my own and we square up, or in the process of him bumping his hips, I'm going to use that to long step, switch, and we come back in. And again, I'm securing this arm from here. So the first armbar that we're going to go from this position, I'm going to start kind of just pressuring forward a little bit. This is going to be the hardest part, especially if he's already got this arm kind of bent in. I pretty much have to get his arm past that 90 degree. Once I get it past that 90 degree, that arm's mine, but this is gonna be where he's strong. So if you are struggling to peel this arm off, I can drive my body into it a little bit, and go ahead and keep it tight again. As I drive my body forward, my shoulder is gonna help extend it a little bit, and it makes it a little bit easier for me to get this. But then notice that once I do secure it, I wanna make sure I shift my weight back, because if I'm leaning too far forward, again, I'm gonna be going for a ride. Now, once we do clear this arm down, it doesn't matter which hand, one hand's gonna be going towards the wrist, the other hand's gonna be coming right underneath the elbow. I'm blocking it within my elbow area. Doesn't matter how I have the hand. Essentially, I'm trying to push his palm down to the mat as I elevate with his elbow, and we're gonna get the armbar finish from there. Now, let's just say for whatever reason, I'm struggling to get this arm down and he's hooking it here. Sometimes these guys will actually try to like reach behind and lock their arms like this, exactly, right? I'm gonna keep this grip. Again, this is the area that I wanna focus on controlling, but this is where you can start kind of hitting a nice series. If I can't get that armbar, then I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna keep this grip. I'm going to start opening up my hips again. This time I'm actually going to post on his head, keeping this tight. I'm gonna take that same side leg, step up and over his head and start scooping his head back, but notice I completely open up my body. I'm not staying down, because from here, I can squeeze all I want. You might get a tap. It might just be a little bit more painful. But when I shift my weight back a little bit, I create a little bit of a pocket, which means that as I start hugging this arm, I'm now in a position where I can actually get the break. The other detail is I'm pinching his wrist between my shoulder and my neck, so that now as I start pinching, nowhere for his arm to go, and I can get the finish from there. Now, again, we can take this another step forward. If I'm still in this position, maybe I don't want to go for that one, or he's just not letting me get my leg up and over his head, that's fine. I'm going to take my back leg, step up onto his knee on belly. I can either just keep this foot posted from here and sit back and look to finish it this way, or I can post all the way up, drive all the way down to his belly, still pinch, and we look to get the finish. Now, if at any point he either starts trying to shrimp his hips away or he tries turning into me, I'm now just going to step my leg up and over the top. I'm going to fall back all the way, keep a nice tight pinch, slide my hands up a little bit, still pinch, and we can get the armbar finish from there. So all the way from the top for the whole series, right? We get into mount, I'm able to secure the arm completely, and I've got it locked down. I'm going to immediately look to make sure that I'm switching my hips in the process, and eventually we're gonna work ourselves off into side control. If I can get the arm flattened out completely, I'm gonna look to finish the armbar there. You can also use your head sometimes to drive in if you need to, but that's just a little bit more advanced. Otherwise, if he starts curling this arm a little bit, I'm going to open up my hips, step up and over the head, pinch, again, bring my arms back, and we'll get the finish from here. Otherwise, I can either just work right up onto knee on belly, I can post and go knee on belly, and again, if he starts driving into me, I step over, fall back, pinch, and we can get the armbar finish from there. So that's a nice little armbar series that you can hit from mount. Give it a shot. Stay safe.